Okay, y'all, so we starting off like this. And what we're doing is we're focusing on the lower body. The reason that we're focusing on the lower body is because a lot of people, specifically women, right? Because a lot of us carry our weight in the lower parts of our body. And so over time, the center of gravity can change, right? And so it's almost as if you feel the weight and the pressures of everything just kind of on your body, and your body actually absorbs the energy that you surround yourself with, the energy that you feel. And a lot of women are very intuitive and very psychic and don't actually know it. And so sometimes what you're feeling and what you are experiencing are part of the energy field that you are in. And so that combined with just life itself and what we're consuming in all forms, right? Those things can kind of weigh us down, really, right? And so we start to feel these pains in the lower parts of our bodies and in our joints. And then we start to experience pains and, all sorts of, and over time, what can happen is the actual cellular structure and the tissue in the body can start to break down because of things like oxidative stress. And so having that experience myself, this is why I make these videos, because after dealing with, all the things that I've dealt with, that I've shared, if you can look at several of my videos to, kind of go into the history of that. But where we are now is building our body so that we can be in our healthiest, wealthiest state. Okay, so I want to focus on the lower part of the body because sometimes we don't get the love. The lower parts of the body doesn't get the love that she deserves. And one of the things that I have dealt with is just, again, I don't know if any of y'all can relate to this, but this is why I'm making this video. So sometimes your body feeling so heavy that it almost feels like it's just hard for you to even lift the lower parts of your body. And one of the things that I found to be very, very helpful is to get one of these like styrofoam, like little, things here, and actually put it on your shins. I guess that's not your shins, like your ankles, right? Put it on your ankles, on the ankle bone, like so. And so what's happening is my feet are lifted. You can't see it, but my feet are lifted off of the roller. The front part of my ankles is on the other side of this rolly thing. And so let me see if y'all can see a little bit more here, right? So like so. And so my feet are lifted up off of the ground. Now, the reason that I am doing that, y'all, is because I'm putting pressure on that space, because I'm allowing the blood to flow, right? Because what happens is the blood flow starts to stagnate in the lower parts of your body, and that accumulation can create stagnant fluids. Because remember, your body is at least about 70% water, at least that's the consensus, right? So with that being said, all of the fluids, all of the things can then stagnate in the lower parts of your body and create heaviness. So we want to get that flowing again, get that moving again. So in putting the roller on our ankles and allowing the flow to flow, that's exactly what we're doing. And simultaneously, what I'm doing is I'm having my feet on the what do we call it? What do you want to call it? The under booty, right? So lifting up your butt cheeks, having your feet on the under part of your booty. And then what that does is that helps to, again, to allow the flow down the thighs, right? Down the thighs. And then that's going to allow the blood flow to the knees. Again, because this is all about flow, okay? So now, these are things that you can do and just allow the flow to flow. So secondarily, what we want to do is, as the flow is flowing on the knees, so I'm going to adjust the camera so that y'all can see. So now I have my knees on the roller thing here. The reason this is important, because I have my feet, you see my toes. My toes are on the mat. Again, just allowing the flow. So you want to make sure that you're taking deep breaths in. And allowing yourself to exhale into the pose, so that, again, for circulation, right? Circulation, 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 okay? So think about the circulation as returning the money back to your bank. You see what I'm saying? So I just did a what's called the mitochondrial wealth takeover. Go to my Instagram and also to the YouTube channel at the Relationship Oracle on Instagram, or you can go to what is it? Oh, yeah, it's also the Relationship Oracle on YouTube. So you can go to the Relationship Oracle and look at the last 10-11 days of posts and things I've made and videos about the mitochondrial wealth takeover. But a part of all of this is to bring the cells back into a place of balance, because over time the pressures of life, like I said, have caused the feminine energy, and because the mitochondrial DNA flows through the matrilineal line. And so over time, what has happened is our cells have been broken down, and you feel depleted energetically, because the mitochondria is the energy, it is the energy bank, right? It's literally the bank that allows the energy that you receive to flow through the rest of your cells, right? And part of the bank is to make sure that there's constant circulation, right? The money doesn't just sit in the bank, right? We actually allow the money to do something. So this is where you shake your money maker, girl. This is where you shake your money maker. Okay? So now, I'm sorry, y'all. So I'm not like, y'all see what I'm doing, right? So real time, I'm learning. So if somebody can tell me how to do these things where I don't have to, like, all of that, that's great. So maybe I'll use my other tripod next time. So what I'm doing here is, again, circulation, 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 allowing for the circulation. So you may even hear my joints popping. So this is, sometimes you got to get it popping to get it popping. Okay? And so we're going to breathe through it. We breathe through it. Now, of course, if you're having any sort of like debilitating pain or whatever the case may be, use this information at your discretion, obviously, right? So for those of you who don't know, I have had knee surgery as well as back surgery, as well as fibroid surgery. So all of these things that I'm telling y'all I do these things because of all of the things that I've already gone through and the things that have helped me over time. And so I share this with you all because, listen, if you've been through it or if you're going through it, you understand what I'm saying. This is why the flow is so key, so necessary. So moving the lower part of your body. Now, one of the other things that I want to talk about, and I know because I want y'all to be able to see what I'm doing. So that's why I'm keeping the camera here. So when it comes to your core, stability, right? Stabilization. Okay. So if you have had any sort of back problems or back issues or things like that, one of the things that you want to do is make sure, one, that your thighs are tight, that your butt is tight, and that your core is stable. Tight thighs, right? Tight thighs, tight ass, tight core. Because let me tell you something. If you are going through this or have gone through this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So when these things start to, when it starts to get loose, you actually feel the lack of stability in your body. And that is one of the things that causes the pain, because the rest of your body or the other parts of your body has to compensate for what is lacking. You see what I'm saying? So in terms of building muscle, specifically for women, I know a lot of women don't necessarily want to be muscular or things like that, but just want that stability, and you need that. You deserve that. So this is why I'm talking about these things, because these are things that I've noticed over time. So I told my mama that I lost my booty in the war. And if y'all have gone through any kind of spiritual warfare, you know what I'm talking about. But what I'm saying is this: get your booty back. How you get your booty back is, you don't have to necessarily do squats, although if you can do the traditional squats, that works too. But for those who have had issues with their knees or anything like that, you may find it difficult to do traditional squats. So this is something that could be beneficial to you. So in doing, this exercise here, that is also helpful. But what it also does is when you're down and you're breathing, right? And then when you lift, right, you're exhaling. But as you exhale, you're tightening. You want to tighten your butt muscles. You're tightening these thighs and you're tightening that ass, right? You tightening the thighs and you tightening that ass. The reason that you're doing that, not just for, looking great and whatever, but also because your body needs stability. Now, when it comes to your core, you want to do the different exercises that you can do for the core. This is your core, all about stability. So this is one of the reasons also that I use this cylindrical, I like that word, this cylindrical foam roller, is because it makes me find out where my body needs more balance. So as I make these videos, I'm not making these videos from the perspective of me being any kind of professional on this thing. I'm just showing you all the things that I do that have actually assisted me and all of the things, and overcoming and healing from all of the different surgeries and the different things that I've experienced. So finally, I'm going to show you all. This is where I have to adjust the camera again, right? Show you all what I'm talking about when it comes to, toning the butt. Now, here's the thing. I'm just gonna show y'all, right? So, all right. So, in toning the butt, you want to, if you have any sort of weakness in the lower part of your body, this is what I found. This is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Literally, give yourself a butt lift, right? Give yourself a butt lift. Lift it up as you squat and you breathe, right? So I'm gonna show y'all this way. All right. So lifting up the butt, squat, right? Exhale. Because what you're doing is when you do it, what you'll realize is that you're actually breathing into your core while simultaneously lifting the butt, right? And what you will feel it in your thighs. You will also feel it in your spine if you've had any sort of back issues. So listen, for those of you who are experiencing any of these things, I send you wellness, I send you healing, I send you flow. And if you are interested, you can go to my wellness website at www.consciouscreations.live. We have several different products that are available, several different tea blends, salves, balms, all that kind of stuff to really help those who are experiencing these sorts of things. Because again, I've lived through it. And so in my journey, this is what I've done to create wellness on my own journey. So one of the things that we have, and I want you to know, it is expensive, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's called the Generational Wellness Pillars. It is a tea. And the reason it is so expensive is because of all of the herbs that are in the tea blend, right? And it's going to come with a booklet that's going to detail every single thing for you about this tea, about each and every herb, because everything that you put in your body, I want you to understand why we put these blends together. I want you to know each herb, why each herb was selected. And also one of the reasons why it costs what it costs in all of our products is because we believe and we stand on regenerative economics. Because, one of the things that I've learned as a business owner, right, is for so long, right, I wanted to just help people. But it got to the point where I was spending so much money trying to do things, to create products and things to help people, that I couldn't help myself. Right? It wasn't priced in such a way that would allow me to continue. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the things that we actually, as a part of the healing, is, and I'm not saying, from a place, I'm not saying to operate from a place of greed, but what I am saying is the opposite on the very end of this other end of the spectrum from greed is lack. Do you see what I'm saying? And so in terms of being able to price things in such a way that is not just based on, this costs this costs that, but how do we continue to create? If it's not, if I don't make enough money to continue to create, then it doesn't benefit anyone, because I can't continue to do what it is that I'm doing because I'm not making enough profit to do that. And so when you look at my website, now you'll still benefit because I still I have so much going on that I still have to update some of the pricing, but the new pricing and what you will see is that it accurately reflects not just the cost of supplies and all of those things, but how do we continue to regenerate? How do I continue to bring this level of healing, awareness, and all of the things to the people and be able to grow myself, right? I want to be able to grow and expand and have a farm and grow my own, grow products and grow herbs and all of the things. Because I think one of the things, I know this turned into a whole other lesson, y'all, but this is what we do, right? Because one of the things that I've seen so much over time, and as this whole conversation about, the situation with the young man, Cyrus Belton, who was killed, at the, by the Asian gentleman, but let me not say that, who was killed by that Asian man, for, apparently, right, for being accused of stealing water. One of the things that shows over and over and over again is how important it is that we're able to be self-sufficient, right? But how we do that, we have to make sure that we're able to be self-sufficient. And so what that looks like is making sure that we are using pricing structures in in everything that we do. Because so often it's almost as if we have come to expect that things should be quote unquote cheap, right? That we should get things very, very cheap, but not really looking on a deeper level. But is that sustainable for, what does that look like? Because what cheap can look like, y'all, is you pay 50 cents for something and, there's no consideration to what it even does to your body. There's no consideration to how it actually affects you. It's just what it is this consumer mindset that we have bought into, that we've been sold, quite frankly, is this consumer mindset. But what I am positing is thinking from a different mindset and realizing that, no, you are a creator. At least you have the ability to be if you so choose. And one of the things that I've been called to do, one of the things that I do is just, it's what I do, is in all of these things that I've experienced, and I understand that, and having all of these, medical things I've gone, all of the things is a level of knowledge and wisdom. And when I tell you all of that costs something, that cost me a lot, right? That cost me my old life. You understand what I'm saying? Because I decided that I want to see people well, truly. And so when I started Conscious Creations in 2020, my slogan, or the subheading for Conscious Creations, was creating well-beings. And one of the things that I always say is to love yourself well, because you deserve it. And part of loving yourself well is really understanding yourself on a cellular level. So this is why I talk so much about mitochondrial wealth, because before all of these systems, there was nature, right? There was energy, and that is all within you, right? And so, anyway, listen, y'all, I know I went on a whole, a whole like thing, but it is what it is. I'm here to do what it is that I do. And I just want to share these things with you all. So again, I hope that this information was helpful. If it seems scattered and all over the place, just take it for what it is, y'all. Just know that, I come from a place of love. Again, if you want to experience generational wellness pillars tea blend, go to www.consciouscreations.live and pick up the generational wellness tea blend. We'll get that made up for you. Now, please know that we create in small batches for all of the reasons that we've stated. So, if we allow back order, but please know that it may take a little bit of time, and you'll be updated on, when you should expect things. If we don't have something in stock, that means we have to get it, and all of the things, right? It's a whole ecosystem. It's a whole ecosystem, y'all. But I am so thankful for all of you who have been on this journey with me. So, Madam Wheel. I didn't tell y'all about Madam Wheel. So Madam Wheel is a new site, and Madam Wheel actually stands for, it's Huile. It's French for oil. So it is the Lady of Oils. And so what I did is Conscious Creations has expanded actually from just doing the body butters and things like that, which are also important because what you put on your skin gets absorbed into your bloodstream. Okay. And that affects your overall well-being. This is what I'm saying. We don't make $5 body butters. That's not what we do because of all of the things that I just mentioned. So with that level of knowing, we've created another brand called the Lady of Oils, which is again, Madam Wheel, where we only have oils and tinctures. So these would be ritual oils and body oils and tinctures. As for now, all of our tinctures are made with alcohol because alcohol helps to draw out the constituents in the plant material so that your body can absorb it. Now, some people don't use alcohol, and that's all fine and good. But for us, we use alcohol because another part of this is really also part of the education of the oil and gas industry. Before there was an oil and gas industry, there was oil and there were alcohols, right? And they have ritualistic purposes and wellness purposes that we are reintroducing the world to oil and gas from a very, very different perspective, not from an extractive perspective, but from a ritualistic and healing perspective. Because before oil was extracted from the earth for, whatever purposes, for using fuel and things like that, we used oil for ritual. We used oil for anointing. And so what Madam Wheel does is reintroduce the world to oils from their original purposes. And so check out the website at www.madamehuile.com. And if you want to work with me on another level, you can then visit my other website at thetisahillman.com. And there I help people just along their life journey. So in that, my work as a licensed attorney, so those of you who know, I'm also a licensed attorney. My work transitioned from being a licensed attorney to helping people navigate their spiritual journey and navigate their spiritual work in this life stuff, right? Through all of the different things, but from a different and deeper lens. So if you're interested in that level of work, you can go to thetisahillman.com. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This video has been longer than I anticipated, but I look forward to seeing y'all on the next episode of whatever we call this. Love yourself well. You deserve it.